Aloha, kids. You're back. You're back again. And whoever else is back, welcome. Aloha. Okay, I got something for you kids and whoever else is watching. Something that's been on my mind for a very, very long time. It's on something I heard when I was in my second, third grade, coming back from Flagstaff. I was on my second, third grade. We were over at Nan and Gramps' house, so I was 8 years old, and I found out, excuse me, my grandfather, who was the first Eagle Scout of his town, served breakfast to Admiral E. Byrd. Do you know who Admiral E. Byrd is, kids? He's the first one that ever flew over the Antarctic. Yeah, he was the first one. I believe it was, he had an expedition, excuse me, let's see, 1928 to 1930. That was the first expedition. Admiral Byrd had 5 expeditions. Oh, Coog had to jump up again just before I started, so. And we'll see how long he lasts. Coog. The Coog. What a Coog. What a cougar. So, Admiral Byrd, that's what this thumbnail is going to be. The thumbnail will be breakfast. Breakfast. Something with breakfast and Admiral Byrd. Because okay, it looks like, what? You can't say hello? You can't say hello to everybody? He loves to say, not hello, but just pet me. The lover. He's a lover. So, White House, New Jersey. Okay. It's getting close to feeding time and another brushing. As we know, kids, you gotta brush your cats. So, White House, New Jersey. It would have been when my grandfather was an Eagle Scout. So that's why he got to serve breakfast to Admiral Byrd in White House, New Jersey. Anybody knows where that is, just look up Route 22. Go toward, I don't know, Lebanon, White House. I don't know, you keep on going down. I guess there's the, whatever, Raritan, Somerville, Brunswick, all going down up to Newark. So you can take it. Route 22 runs a good distance. By the way, Lebanon, not Lebanon Bologna, but Lebanon, New Jersey. My aunt and uncle, Uncle Herm, Aunt Neary, they had a 5-acre florist. I love going in there in the wintertime. Acres and acres of flowers, roses, everything you could think of. Oh boy, that was fantastic. Just brought back memories, had to throw it out there. So now we're back with my grandfather serving breakfast to Admiral Byrd. And I said, wow, Gramps, you got to serve breakfast. Wow. I should have said, what did he eat? Yeah. But so the big thing was, he didn't chit-chat too much about it, except he says, Admiral Byrd did say something that stuck in my mind, my grandfather says. And he said, Admiral Byrd said that the earth is hollow. It's hollow. That means, kids, you know, we're on top of this earth and we think, well, we know there's caves, there's spelunking going on, but how hollow is it? That's the question. Yeah. So that's what we might be going over. This is going to be a short one. As I promised in the past, they're all short. Some people said, they're so long. Well, some of them are shorter, and I think that we can do a short one for you, all you impatient people. So we know Richard E. Byrd was born 1888, and he made his transition in 1957. We know that. We know he had 5 expeditions. We know that he told my grandfather that this earth is hollow. All right? We know that. And we know that, well, it would be episode 49. The Red Ruby, the Bermuda Triangle, that guy, Dr. Ray Brown. I meant to tell you, if you go back to that episode, I talk about how we did find the Red Ruby and also the crystal, the 3.5 round crystal that was in the hands of the pyramid. and how he dealt with the Bermuda Triangle when he went into that and he came out and everything. The questions I had to ask because I had to ask. But I forgot to tell you in episode 49, in the very beginning when he got off his Harley and with his Viking chick wife, I guess, he said, "Kids, sit down," because we were all in our birthday suits, at the place I was living at the time, and we put our blankets down, and he said the very first thing he said before he went into the red ruby that nobody's talking about, they're just talking about the crystal. He said, the very first thing he said is, "This earth is like an orange." An orange? He says it's like an orange, and we're on the outside of the skin. And on the inside is where all the goodies are. And he started with that story. And I just forgot about telling you about that. Because this is pretty important. If we're on the outside of an orange and there's more goodies inside, why isn't anybody talking about that? I'm just wondering. I'm just throwing some things out there for anybody who has a question on that. By the way, I'm leaving this open for you can ask. You can definitely tell me something right off the top. On Route 22, anybody in White House, New Jersey, there used to be a store 24 not 24/7, but they were open 365 days. I think they were closed on Christmas. It was called the Christmas Store. Is the Christmas Store still open over there? Can somebody let me know if you're from White House, New Jersey? It was the only store I ever knew that you could go by, and we had to go in there, and it had the fantastic things and just Christmas stuff. All right, anybody out there, write me a line. Say, yeah, it is or it isn't. Okay. The orange. We're on the outside of an orange. Goodies inside. So this Dr. Ray Brown, he was a naturopathic practitioner, which means he was educated in all the other things that an MD is, except he pretty much went more holistic and non-toxic when he was helping people diagnose their ailment. Holistic and non-toxic, which would basically mean, kids, less pills. So that would put a lot of doctors out of business, wouldn't it? So we got an orange that we're on, and there's goodies inside that nobody's talking about. Well, now recently, since 2004, actually before that, the last expedition of Admiral Byrd was between 1946 and 1947. It was called the high jump. Look up high jump, and we'll eliminate a lot of problems we got with what's going on here. I think Google still has it out there. Maybe not. Check it out sooner than later. So what happened was that when he went in there, he flew a plane in the hole of the earth, and he went for a great distance to where he saw things that should not be there in the earth. There was trees, there was forests, there was lakes, there was waterfalls, there was a big city. And then all of a sudden, his plane was taken over by something else that was flying and landed him. And then there was a guy called, we don't know that yet because he left behind a diary. But he had a gag order. He couldn't speak about it while he was alive. You know what? He made his transition awful early, like 68. Maybe he was, I don't know. Yeah, hopefully it was natural. So we say that the city that he writes in his diary that his son found after he made his transition, there was things going on down there in the diary. And the diary said there was a guy named called the whatever his name was, and it was telling him that they were concerned about Earth because it was right after the Hiroshima, and we were dropping a lot of negative things around the planet, a lot of radiation going on, and they were really concerned about mankind on how we were using this capability that we had, that I believe in the beginning was supposed to be used for positive, turned out to be negative. So not only would it be destructive to our planet and themselves, but it also would be it's destructive to people on the outskirts of this planet. Radiation, they're not very happy with that either. It's actually quite archaic to them, but we're still working on raising ourselves, as you well know. We are accelerating, and I believe our brains and minds are getting more accelerated to think more peace, more love, more light, rather than destruction. And that's what Uncle Martin's saying, and I'm saying this, I am saying this right now, today, that there's not going to be much war going on, I think, in the future. Not a physical war. It's going to be more of a spiritual war. And just put that on the back shelf. It'll be under spiritual war. But for right now, the orange that we're on, there is a hole in the Antarctic that has been found since, well, they're agreeing that somebody came out, a whistleblower, 2004, I believe, that there is something definitely going down with the stuff. The hieroglyphics that's unknown, that they've never seen. The stuff that is happening down there. Machines are starting to turn on. This crystal city that they're talking about down in the Antarctic is hundreds of thousands of years old. So this puts a lot of our history buffs in dismay, I suppose. Probably because they're going to have to rewrite history books, or they won't. But my point is this is just stuff that is coming to the surface. It's like the light is coming forth. The truth is the light. Just sort of like on Hollywood, how the light is coming down on them. Hollywood, I always thought, was more of a reflection, not really the source. So the source, you might say, the true light is coming down on Hollywood to where there's no place to hide. Sort of like that little short I had, the vandalizing, when I was screaming out to the kids. There's, you can run, but there's nowhere to hide. And there was a lot of people that, well, that had thumbs up, and there was quite a few that gave me a thumbs down. So those people that gave me a thumbs down, I just want to tell you right now, excuse me, I hope I wasn't hurting anybody's feelings. Because if you think it's okay for kids to go and destroy things, or you maybe think Uncle Martin was yelling, no, I was just I wanted to talk to him. I was disappointed that I couldn't talk to him, that's all. So I'm going to tell you something, kids. In Google, they don't allow how many thumbs up there are. I mean, yeah, they allow the thumbs up. They don't allow thumbs down. And Uncle Martin's saying, I think we should have thumbs down visible for everybody. Because I don't care. I am concerned. And that would be episode 73. When I told my dad when he had Parkinson's that I didn't care. And boy, did I ever. And that, we can see how that happened if you go to 73. That I don't care, but I am concerned. In other words, thumbs down, fantastic. At least I know how people are feeling. But those people that give me a thumbs down, if I hurt your feelings, from my heart, I am sorry. But in my mind, I'm thinking, what are you thinking? You think it's okay to kids throw over porta potties, tear up, smash and grab things, and it's okay? Because what? Because society, our media is showing all these negative things to kids, showing negative things to kids, and kids are looking at it like, hey, look what they're getting away with. Maybe I can do it too. So, kids, this is something that happens in the news. They might be reporting the news, but I find it to be really negative sometimes. As we all know, it can be. Very seldom is it not anything but negative. I think that's why a lot of people aren't watching the news anymore. Well, certain news programs, any of the news, how much of the news is true? All right, that's all I'm asking. So that's why Uncle Martin's come out and told true stories. When the secret to happiness is freedom, and the secret to freedom is courage. So if you kids and folks that are listening, you want your freedom, you're going to have to stand up with a little more courage, all right? And When reason reigns supreme, inconsistency cannot exist. And what is the reason for reason? Well, it's so that inconsistency doesn't exist. And if you look around, kids, there's not many people with reason anymore. There's a lot of inconsistency. People making laws, not following the laws. There's a lot of inconsistency. Or people that are not following the laws, not getting caught. But again, that's where karma comes in. Who cares if they get caught or not? It all comes back to you. So that's why you can't judge anybody. Forget about judging. Everybody's going to get what they're going to get. Hopefully it's positive, because you're giving out positive. So, oh, by the way, the secret of happiness is freedom. The secret of freedom is courage. This is like written like 460 to 400 BC by oh boy, Thucydides. Thucydides was a Athenian. It's from Athens. So this guy knew about something that maybe we forgot about. The secret of freedom is courage. And secret of freedom. The happiness of freedom. The secret of happiness is freedom. And the secret of freedom is courage. How you can turn these things around. We have to stand up more and be more courageous, kids. Whatever you're doing around you, if you hear a falsehood, you hear a lie, you got to stand up and challenge it. As I said in the past, if you hear a lie and you don't challenge it, you are as much at fault as that person that's putting out the lie, because people don't know the difference. And if you do know the difference, you're liable. That's what it comes down to. So I just wanted to say, we're all in an orange right now. Hopefully we're not going to get peeled by Mother Nature when we don't come together more as a community, a unity of a community that's going to have more love, light, and understanding. Because I said in the past, we're coming into an accelerated rate. We have more storms, more volcanoes, more... Nah, we haven't really seen the big tsunamis yet. But there's things going on that, whether you're aware of it or not, weather changes are going on. These are the warning signs that mankind has to come together more. And as far as the nuclear stuff, I'm just saying, that's where the rattling of the swords are coming in. I really believe that there's some other sources that are going to come in and say, I don't think it's going to happen. Hopefully that'll be the situation, because apparently there are some people living in a big hole in the Antarctica that have been there for a while. That have been apparently they've been watching us. That's nice. So that's all I wanted to say about this one. Was it's a short one, kids. That my grandfather, the first Eagle Scout of the town that I can't talk of because I want to be Uncle Martin, anonymous, no limitation as long as possible. But he was the first Eagle Scout, and he got to serve Admiral Byrd. So that's stuck in my mind at 8 years old. And then I get this Dr. Ray Brown in 1976 talking about the same thing, hollow earth. And then you look into Antarctica, the Crystal City, it's a big hole. Seems that there's some stuff in the earth that nobody's talking about. So that's just what I wanted to put out there. Breakfast for Admiral Byrd is the thumbnail. So until I see you again, oh, by the way, happy Tuesday. It's not Sunday. I'll have something for you this Sunday, though. I promise, because I owe you some. So until we see each other again, boy, oh boy, I want you all to be well. Keep up with your push-ups. Say your prayers before you go to bed. And be kind to whoever you meet. Until then, aloha and be well.